In my wisdom, I've come to two inevitable truths. Truth number one is stupid people will always have money, and that mystifies me. Case in point. Truth number two is I suck at YouTube, which really frustrates me because I don't suck at much. Well, maybe one thing. But today we're going to talk about the reasons I suck at YouTube. Just YouTube. As the Extreme channel is pushing towards 50,000 subscribers, these are just a few of the statues we're giving away on the journey there. If you want to know how to win one, stay tuned for later in the video. Hey guys, welcome to the Extreme channel. We're doing another countdown today, but it's not what you think. So as a YouTuber, and this is a hobby of mine, that does generate some nice income, whether it's through advertisements or sponsorships, and I absolutely have a blast doing this. I don't do it for the money, but I'm not going to say no to free money for a hobby that I love. Because if I was doing this for the money, I gotta let you know right now, it pays about 1 in 10, I don't even know the fraction, so not 1/100th, but 1/10,000th per hour of what I make in normal life. And YouTube is a tricky beast. If anyone watching has their own YouTube channel or has attempted it, whether they have 100 subscribers or 1,000,000, they know that it is incredibly difficult to be YouTube successful. I am still a long way off from that title. Maybe someday, maybe not. Now, about a year ago, I told you guys I'm kind of calming down from YouTube. I no longer do daily content. I release stuff pretty much every other day, and I still love doing it. And I still have hopes that I'll be successful. Recently, I came to the inevitable conclusion that I really suck, which, like I said, is so difficult because YouTube is just a tricky algorithm. Sometimes I'll post a video on a statue that's 3 years old, and it will get 5,000 views in 24 hours. Sometimes, albeit rare nowadays, I will be the first to YouTube with a very special statue, and I'll be lucky to get 1,000 views in the first 24 hours. While there are about 1,000 things a YouTuber can do right to help promote their videos, in the end, a big portion of it is that YouTube algorithm. And maybe it's because I backed off on videos, but I've also noticed with a lot of other collecting channels that views are just considerably down over this last year or so. Now, because I do it for the passion, while it bothers me, I'm still going to continue. I was having a conversation with another YouTuber who I talk to almost daily. Not going to mention names because Steven doesn't like people to know I'm associated with him. How some of my best videos now don't even do as well as some of my worst videos a year ago. So it got me thinking, what are my worst performing videos of all time? Now this is a tricky thing to measure because obviously the longer a video is on YouTube, the more views it's going to get. It's just basic math and science. Well, there's probably not science behind it. At least not like science like we learned growing up. When do you ever use that shit in real life? Or like the Pythagorean theorem. I gotta tell you, a few years ago I was in an interview. I stated that a squared plus b squared equals c squared, and the interviewer lost his shit. He was so impressed. But anyway, so today we're gonna look at my top 10 worst performing videos of all time. And I'm gonna talk about them because some of them I think are awesome. Obviously, you guys disagree. Now, before we kick it off with the top 10, I do have a few honorable mention, and I'm not gonna go specific ones, but I noticed that like 11 through 15, 3 out of 5 of those were all giveaway videos. So that's really cool to me that you guys don't like to watch the giveaway videos, you just like to watch the regular content. That is pretty cool. Now, we still are doing a giveaway as you saw at the beginning, but since subscriber count is slowed down immensely, like I said, this seems to be true around a lot of YouTube collecting channels. We're all growing at a slower rate for the most part. We're still gonna do all those giveaways. So make sure you've not only liked this video, but you've left a comment below to get entered into that contest. I'll talk a little bit more about that at the end. But let's kick it off with number 10. Is Extreme Travels in September 2019. So it's a 2-year-old video. This was the first year of the channel. It only had 871 views and 54 comments. Now, I tried to do some segments on traveling because whenever I travel, I like to watch other YouTube videos before I go there, especially if I'm making a decision. So I thought this would be great because as you guys probably know, I travel 20 to 30 weeks a year, and I had a blast making this video. In my opinion, it's very fun to watch, but it just didn't gain any traction. And it has a ton of cool stuff in it, so that comes in at number 10. Number 9 is a recent video. PCS Vega Statue. This had 812 views with only 75 comments. Now, my theory behind this is, first of all, it's newer. It's only a month old. Second, it's such an older statue, and it's not that popular of a statue. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that as we move farther into the countdown because there's some other pieces that kind of fall into that category. Number 8 is a 2-year-old video as well. Almost exactly 2 years old. It is this custom bat duck. 803 views and only 16 comments. So what's really cool is to see the evolution of the channel, that you guys do a lot more comments nowadays, even on the lower performing videos than you used to. And this was a custom piece, so it's Batman, or a duck as Batman. I still own this piece to this day. It's going to be in a giveaway eventually, and it's just not very interesting to people. Or maybe I look bored in the thumbnail right here, so you can tell how boring the statue is. Number 7 is also another segment that I experimented with in the first year of the Extreme channel. It was called Extreme Reads or Extreeds. So specifically, I talked about comics I was reading and statues that I had that matched those comics. So this one was about Old Man Logan and the Batman Noel. I purchased those because I had the statues, and I ended up loving Old Man Logan, and I love the artwork in Batman Noel, but not the actual storyline. Number 6, just like that Vega statue, recent video, PCS Balrog from Street Fighter. 783 views with 67 comments. Now keep in mind, some of these views and comments could have altered since I recorded this data, but this comes in at number 6. Again, I think a lot of the same reasons as that Vega statue. It's just a little bit more boring, even though I did an awesome thumbnail. Number 5 shows you guys care about my opinion when it comes to collectibles, but nothing else. This was my top movies of all time. Now, I hadn't watched this since I launched it 2 years ago. It had 732 views and 83 comments. I went back and watched parts of it just to see what my favorite movies are, to see if it swayed at all. I think they're all pretty much the same. And you'll notice on this one I said 83 comments. There were still a lot of comments because people like to share their favorite videos of all time, our favorite movies. Number 4, I can't believe this hasn't done better, but it only had 694 views and 15 comments. I used to do a segment called Extreme Topics, where I actually discussed with my friend, God rest his soul, Dick Ryder, different topics. And this was about why the movie industry can't come up with anything new. It's always sequels or remakes. And this is not only a hilarious video, but I think it has a lot of great points. And what's funny about this is one of those videos, as you can imagine, it takes a ton of editing and a ton of time. And I'm not saying it's not worth it, but considering it's my 4th worst performing video of all time and probably took like 3 to 4 hours to shoot, out of like 600 or 800 videos, that's pretty bad, even though it's fantastic. So go check that out for sure. Number 3 is another PCS Street Fighter piece. This is Blanca, or however you want to say it. Now, not only is this piece kind of boring, which is one of the reasons it got lower views, but during these reviews, I talked about that these pieces don't hold their value, and I think the fact that they have so few views on YouTube is one of the things that is indicative of the fact they don't hold their value. People just aren't interested in them. And of course, like I said, this is a pretty new video. It was a few weeks ago, has 666 views and 70 comments. These PCS Street Fighter videos were the first videos in a long time that didn't hit 1,000 views within 24 hours. Which is crazy to me, because like a year ago, my goal was to hit 5,000 views in 24 hours, but everything has just calmed down. Or people got sick and fucking tired of me. That's possible too. Number 2 was also 2 years ago. It was a segment I tried to do. It was called Extreme Events. Very fortunate to experience a lot of different things. So we went to the Trans-Siberian Orchestra, and I launched this right before Christmas. So I thought it would do fantastic because it was their Christmas video, but it only got 659 views and 32 comments. Clearly, the people that normally watch the channel weren't interested in this stuff, but this is a fantastic show. And a lot of times, videos like this, like some of my travel videos, have picked up like 10, 20,000 views. And while this isn't a travel video, I think it falls into the same reason I talked about earlier. People who are Googling or YouTubing stuff to see if they want to go, they run across my videos. Now we come to the number 1. And what's crazy about this was also another segment I tried to do, and I don't want to say I tried to do it, because it is now my most successful segment. I do something on the 1st of every month called Extreme Expos, where I talk about all the upcoming cool stuff in the month. And recently I started including some stuff from the previous month. Now the inaugural video of this was called February Happenings 2019. The YouTube channel was only a month old, and nobody has gone back to watch this because it only has 612 views and 18 comments. But this is now my biggest monthly segment out there, which is crazy to me that the inaugural video was the worst performing video of all time. So it just goes to show that when you try to do something different as a YouTuber, you don't want to give up right away because it could take off. But with all that being said, despite the time that it takes up, I still love doing YouTube. I'm going to continue to do it whether I'm successful or a failure. And honestly, that depends on you guys. So seriously, if you're a regular watcher of the channel and you haven't subscribed, just hit that subscribe button. It makes me feel better. Hit the bell notification. Also make sure to leave a comment because you could win a statue. We will be giving all of these statues away, plus additional ones at every 5,000 subscriber milestone. To win one of these statues, all you have to do is make sure you've liked this video, you've subscribed to the channel, you've hit that bell notification, and then just drop a comment below. Every 5,000 subscriber milestone, we are going to do a random drawing and pick a random comment and give one of these statues away, plus some additional ones I'm not showing right now. The more videos you comment on, the higher your chances are to win. So thanks for going down memory lane with me, guys. Check out some of those videos, but in the meantime, check out some of these other videos as well. Until next time, I will talk to you soon. Drop me a like on the way out. I really appreciate it. Take care.